Hey everyone, Monty here. Happy New Year's to you all. Today's video, I wanted to go over my LG CX 48-inch OLED TV that I'm using as my gaming and computer monitor. If you guys recently seen, I did trade my Alienware AW3420DW ultra-wide gaming monitor plus some cash to a buddy in exchange for this brand new OLED TV roughly about 2 weeks ago or so. So far, loving the TV. Pros far outweigh the cons in my opinion, and I'll cover those here in a little bit. When I first got the LG CX OLED TV, I had it sitting back on my desk with its stands. It's about 10 pounds. So it was closer than where it's currently at mounted on the wall right now. I'm sitting about 3 feet or so away from the screen. My future plans is replacing this cheap makeshift Linmon desk that I have. It's just a tabletop. I think it was like 15-20 bucks. I got it from IKEA. I was watching another YouTube video, a guy that I'm subscribed to, and he was showing off a Husky desk from Home Depot. And, I've looked at it, looks pretty solid, holds 3,000 pounds. So I'm like, okay, if I get something like that, I can push my desk back about another foot or so. That way I have less neck strain and less head movement on this TV. It's because looking around, it is quite big. Playing games only 3 feet away. So I'm constantly looking at the corners, like mini maps and whatnot. So anyways, Husky workbench seems like it has everything I need. Metal frame, pretty solid. It's not bad price at $265 either. Anyways, so when I got this TV, I didn't have my RTX 3090 graphics card. So I was just using my 2080 Ti, which works fine, even playing at 4K, 120 frames per second. Really, the only difference between the two graphics cards is the 2080 Ti does not support full RGB on 4K. Whereas the 3090 supports it as it has HDMI 2.1. So 4K 120 hertz, HDMI 2.1 on the 3090 works fine. On 2080 Ti, I had to change the chroma subsampling to 420. Once I did that, I was able to play 4K 120 hertz. It seems more or less just a bandwidth limitation. Color-wise, couldn't tell the difference between the two. The only difference was a red fringing on the text. Looks like a very slight red tint shadow on text, mainly on Windows, like Windows Desktop or like Google Chrome, or just searching the web. In video games, I did not see it even with the in-game text, so it must be something that really only affects text like on the Windows desktop and Chrome. I didn't notice, I can't notice any like pixels, like if I'm like pixel peeping 3 feet away, I don't see any pixels. Nothing really stands out. Typically on a TV you would see that, but I don't see that. Also, I didn't notice, I know it's a TV. You guys are probably thinking it can't be that much better than a gaming monitor. You'd be surprised using the correct certified HDMI 2.1 cable connected to my RTX 3090 with the game mode turned on. TV has instant game response and HDMI Ultra HD deep color enabled inside the TV settings. You'd be surprised how good and how this feels identical to a gaming monitor. Colors are really accurate. No trailing or ghosting, no banding or flickering. Feels exactly like a gaming monitor that's just more or less bigger, like what we all want. As you can see on my previous videos on my YouTube channel, you'll notice I had a Asus PG279Q 27-inch. It was 165 hertz. It was a 1440p gaming monitor. Then I upgraded that to about 6 months ago to an Alienware 34-inch ultra-wide AW3420DW. The resolution was 3440 by 1440. That was at 120 hertz as well. So really, really nice monitor. But I was able to trade that to a buddy for the LG CX OLED 48, which is what this video is currently on and what it's about as well. With all that said, I've in this TV to the best of my knowledge. If there's anything you guys want to add to the TV that I might not have covered, drop it down in the comment section down below. We'll get down to the pros and cons right now. We'll start with the pros first. First, it's an OLED TV. Perfect blacks, pixels shut off if they're not being used. If you get the gist. Has 4K 120 hertz with G-Sync, along with FreeSync and variable refresh rate. Contrast in the blacks, obviously it's the best that you can get. Built-in smart apps on the TV, they just work great. Don't feel slow. Netflix and YouTube app, they support HDR, no problems there. HDR support, it just works. Really, you just go on a video that you want to watch, HDR automatically shows, Dolby Atmos shows as well. So I think it's Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, those all show up. I have to read a little bit more about those. I don't know if they're necessarily compatible with the Windows or not. Probably not. I don't know. I'll have to check. But yeah, for the HDR support for Windows, I literally just go in display settings, turn on HDR with the little toggle. That's it. And any of the games, they'll automatically notice it, or if they don't notice it, I could just turn it on. TV auto recognizes that I'm in HDR mode no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm playing games, Netflix, YouTube. So it automatically changes it and turns it on for me. No bugs, haven't noticed any problems with it. The built-in speakers on the TV actually sound good, surprisingly. When I first hooked it up to my computer, it was actually outputting the sound to the TV from the computer, which was interesting. But it's obviously doing that over HDMI. So yeah, built-in speakers, they sound great. Previously, like any other kind of like TV speakers that you'll see, they sound really tinny. There's no bass to it. Typically with something like that, you would go get a sound bar. But in this case, the speakers sound great for what it is. I was looking at buying a Dolby Atmos sound bar that LG sells. Is like $400. But then I was looking, I could just go buy an amp and a DAC and buy some either KRK Rockets or some JBL 305P, I think is what they're called. And that's probably the route that I'm going to go. But anyways, yeah, the bass on this TV and the audio, like it sounds good. It's pretty clear. Obviously this TV supports Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. Response time is a millisecond or less is what's stated. Also has built-in auto low latency mode for gaming, which is great, which is what I like. Also has wireless AC built in as well, along with an Ethernet port. So that's good. Like if I want to browse Netflix, Hulu, whatever, any kind of the apps I'm using on the TV. I have gigabit fiber internet. I could just plug an Ethernet cable, which I have plugged in. No lag or buffering when watching TV with the built-in apps. So that's good. I think you're starting to see how great this TV is comparison to gaming monitor. It's pretty much the same. It's so close. Hybrid, and I would call it a hybrid gaming monitor. It's TV, obviously, but everything is so close. It is so good. I can't really tell a difference. The only difference I could tell is if I'm sitting 3 feet away playing Call of Duty. It just feels like the TV is just too big. Okay, that's probably my only gripe. The size is great, but if you're sitting 3 feet away, it's hard to play competitive games like that. So something to think about. It's really sitting 3 feet back, being, slightly uncomfortable. I'm using a $50 IKEA chair. So my goal here shortly would be to get a Secret Lab or a DX Racer chair. I think that's going to help the neck out a lot as far as that and the lumbar support. But for the 3 hours that I sit here, it's not super uncomfortable. It's fine. But obviously you can get, feet rest and you can get a better chair, especially since I'm 3 feet back and I don't have the desk and stuff that I do want. But anyways, so I would say that would be like the first con, right? So the size being super huge, sitting 3 feet back, you're moving your head like a bobblehead, just trying to see the corners. It's not terrible. I could move my desk back a little bit more. It would fix the issue. But anyways, second con would be the bottom half of the rear TV. So the back of the TV, it sticks out about 3 inches or so. So the problem with that is if I wanted to wall mount it flush, you can't really mount it flush. It's because it has all the electronics all in the back of it, all the circuitry for the TV. The TV itself, the top half is super thin. It's thinner than my iPhone, but the bottom half, since it has to house all them electronics, it sticks out about 3 inches or so out the back. So mounted to the wall, it's about 3 inches or so from the wall, which to me, looking at the TV, it's fine for me. Some people that want to really, really flush, you'd probably have to look at the wallpaper TV that LG has, and that's going to be a lot more expensive than that. Anyways, something minor, I wouldn't really worry about it, but it's just something to think about. I don't really have any cons for the TV. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is really on par. My opinion, my experience with the TV and the 2 previous gaming monitors I had, it's on par with it. If you want a competitive, like if you're doing like Fortnite, Valorant, whatever games you're playing competitively, probably won't do it on an OLED if you're getting paid for it, obviously. But for like general consumption and like the best colors, response time, and like on a big TV that's an OLED, Like, this is perfect. I don't know of any other TV that's really better. This is really the only gaming TV that I've ever played on. But the color, everything is just accurate, deep, like the blacks are perfect, response time, G-Sync. It all just works after having everything set up correctly and using the correct HDMI 2.1 cable that's connected to my 3090. That's the key there, is having a correct one. You have a bad one, or you have an off-brand one, or you just have one that don't work, you're going to notice flickering, weird issues. I don't have any problems. 2 weeks of using this, about 3 weeks actually now, no problem. And now, before anybody jumps on the bandwagon about OLED burn-in, something I was concerned about previously, but after watching and reading this article from a website called Rtings, R-T-I-N-G-S, they did an OLED burn-in test and results for, I think it was about a year or so. And you'd be surprised at how good like it did. And this LG CX model, the 2020 version that I have, is obviously has better technology to mitigate the burn-in, right? So first off, it doesn't, as far as that goes, I have a Best Buy warranty that covers burn-in. So should I have ever issues, like have any problems with it in the future, I can always just go exchange it or return it and get a gift card back. So no big deal there. So to mitigate burn-in, what I do, since I use this as a gaming monitor, also use it to watch Netflix and YouTube. I have my OLED lighting at 30. Okay, so OLED lighting at 30, that's the backlight. And then the brightness I have set to 50%. Obviously, when HDR comes on, it's going to be a lot different. And it's something, I've used HDR on this TV a handful of times, but I'm not an expert as far as what settings, as far as the brightness, would I set it to yet. So I'm still messing around with the settings. Like I said, I've only had this TV about maybe 3 weeks now. So I'm still a little new to it. I still got to spend hours on the forums to figure out everything like everybody else has already. But just like currently, like what I have set to like my desktop gaming Windows, OLED lighting's at 30, brightness at 50. So the TV's not super bright to me. But this is not an HDR mode, by the way, guys, for Windows. This is just stock PC settings. That's it. Also, I have my Windows desktop background a solid black color as well. And besides the solid Windows background color, I also have my Windows start bar that is on auto hide as well. So nothing really static. I'm just kind of helping it out just so I don't have any burn in on the display. I don't think I will, because I'm not on the computer for an extended period of time anyways, or I'm not really watching anything for an extended period of time that would cause a burn-in. Like if you watch like Fox News, CNN, any kind of news station, they got the Go banner icon, and it's just sitting in there and it just burns in the TV, right? As you can see here, there's a lot of different technologies on there. So, TV has a built-in pixel refresher, essentially refreshes all the pixels when the TV gets turned off. So, I watch the TV, say 3-4 hours, shut the TV off, it'll automatically run that for me. Also has screen shift. For those that don't know, technology reduces the potential of retention of the screen image that is fixed for a long time. So it moves the pixels. If you guys remember, like for an iPhone, they have that technology where it shifts the pixels left to right. I don't know exactly if this is left to right or up and down, but it does has that screen shift built in. So the screen shift moves the pixels for the static area. So you have an image that's sticking there. We're talking hours and hours, right? Probably not going to have any problems. Most people, I don't think, will have any issues. There's also a logo luminance adjustment that's built in as well. Technology, it detects on-screen logos, reduces the luminance in those affected areas. So like a really bright logo that's just static, it obviously it fixes that. Lastly, there's something called temporal peak luminance control. LG OLED TVs have that technology to detect stationary images that pose like a high risk of retention, adjust the pixel luminance accordingly. Visually, I don't notice any difference doing that if it's doing that while I'm looking at the TV. But anyways, I think with all that said, I think you get why I'm not like really worried about the burn-in. Obviously got the warranty, but not only that, is just the technology built in and how I'm using the monitor, or actually how I'm using the TV. It's probably not going to pose much of a risk. So I'm okay with that. The amount of time I use it, and with technology use that's built in this TV to mitigate that, and with the warranty, I don't lose any sleep over it. Not worried about it. It's fine. So anyways, again, with all the pros and this working flawlessly, with my RTX 3090, my EVGA for the Win 3 Ultra that I got, I get about 4K, 120 frames per second on all video games with their quality settings maxed out. I will say this is the best TV gaming monitor out on the market, and I think it'll hold true for years to come. I mean, it's for what it has, for the colors, for the response time, variable refresh rate for PlayStation, Xbox, and all that. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, there's nothing else out there that beats this. Anyways, $1,500 is steep. I mean, it is expensive. If you have the money, go for it. If you don't have the money, don't lose any sleep over it. You'll be okay. Gaming monitor is still good. It's just something like this is probably enthusiast level, but it's well worth it in my opinion. I'm a casual gamer. I'm not competing for any kind of prizes. I'm not doing any game competitions or anything like that. So if you're doing that, go check out like 240 hertz monitors. But for this, like, this is awesome. So I'm pretty much doing like a YOLO with this TV. I got a good deal for a trade-in on my previous monitor, so that's why I have this. Otherwise, it would be hard for me to just go out and buy this, but since I already have it now, I would go out and buy it just to see the difference compared to all the other TVs. It just smokes all of them. It's hard to describe. You go walk in a Micro Center or a Best Buy, see an OLED that's on display. You'll see what I'm saying. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first video I made using a makeshift script I wrote, essentially. Previous videos, I kind of just blabber on. I'm kind of not sticking to what I want to talk about. So I noticed this creating a script keeps me on topic. I'm able to explain everything I want to explain in more or less an easy to follow way. And obviously that's what script writing is, right? But it just keeps me on topic, keeps me focused. And everything I want to say in a video, I can say everything I want to say in a video. It's because I got it all written down. Anyways, helps me stay on topic. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any video requests, drop them down in the comment section down below. I want to thank all you guys for watching. Again, Happy New Year. Please subscribe and like, and I will see you guys on the next video.